Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Answer in 10 minutes. I will answer questions that came into our queue last week. And I hope last week was great for all of you bakers out there. It is very, very busy for a lot of us right now trying to keep up with the holiday season. So I totally understand what you're going through. I've been there before. So good luck. I hope you stay sane in your jobs. And if you do miss my live streams, you can always get them on our BAKERpedia page, our LinkedIn page, and of course, our YouTube channel in our live stream chat area. Okay. So here goes today's 10 at 10. And before I actually answer the questions that came into a queue, I would like to talk about our upcoming sourdough seminar. So we have one coming that is on December 12th. And we will be learning a lot from Dr. Marco Gabetti, Dr. Jane Bach, Brian Cheng, when they talk more about controlling processing parameters for sourdough. Also, in the morning at 8 a.m., we will be taking a live virtual tour of the sourdough library with the world's only sourdough librarian, Carl D. Smith. All right. So, if anything, you don't want to miss that. So, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay. And then we will be going into dough mixing of sourdough, live streaming from the lab. Okay. Show you the characteristics of sourdough and starters. And then at about 9:30, we go into the different functional aspect of sourdough in baked goods. And this is hosted by the world-renowned sourdough scientist, Dr. Marco Gabetti. And then we go into the process of sourdough by Brian Cheng, when he would talk about the different processes, like why do you get a sweeter sourdough? Why do you get a more sour sourdough? Why are there water on top of sourdough starters? You know, those kind of processing questions. Okay. All right. So at 11:15, we will go into more lab sessions of sourdough. And that is pretty much, the heart of the class, where we get in person into the dough and get our hands dirty. So that's my favorite part of the class. Because this is also a live in-person class, there will be attendees and they will be getting to taste the product and touch the product as well. The importance of flour and water quality. I mean, who doesn't look at that? I mean, if you're a baker baking on a large commercial scale, you always have to look at flour and water first, right? And if you don't get those figured out, then you can't solve your problems. All right. All right. Thank you, Joanna. All right. Give me a second. And then we will end the day with my session, which I will talk about sourdough quality, how do you measure it, and how you extend the life of sourdough products, because sourdough bread is so high in moisture that you need to use certain sanitation techniques and baking techniques that can really extend the shelf life of the product. Okay, and don't forget, we brought in a master baker for you, Fred Denzer from Parados, and Fred will be baking up a storm for you: sourdough baguettes, Italian, ciabatta, focaccia, all different kinds of bread for you to taste. All right. So this class is actually brought to you by Parados. Solange's Mills, Bake Watch, and Lalaman. So it's going to be a treat. So, all right, let's get to the first question of the day. Dr. Carson, please tell me, when using chicory root inulin as a replacement for sugar, how much should I use? First off, go to our sugar page, type in sugar on BAKERpedia, and it will bring you to this page that tells you about 10 functions of sugar. Yes, sugar has 10 functions in bakery products, okay? For example, it's a food. It's a food for yeast to produce carbon dioxide. It's a sweetener. It's a humectant. It has a creaming, tenderizing factor to it. It has a shelf life improvement factor to it. It freezes, it depresses the freezing point. It's a texturizer. It's a color and flavor component. It's a foaming agent, and it's a bulking agent. So 10 functions. So you can't use inulin to replace all those 10 functions, right? Like I said before, and many, many times, when you deal with food systems, you can't just take away one thing and replace by one thing. It's not a technology product. You just don't plug and play, okay? To replace sugar, you must bring in ingredients that replaces these 10 functions, okay? Inulin only replaces the bulking, possibly some foaming, texturizing, and humectancy. So the most inulin can replace are 4 different properties of sugar, okay? So I say the replacement of inulin's job in sugar is probably just about 30 to 40% of that ingredient. You have to use other ingredients like allulose for sweetening, stevia for a different depth of sweetening, fat for texturizing, baking soda for coloration. So these other different things you have to consider when you do sugar replacement. So it's just not, I can't really tell you how much to use to get the exact function of sugar. You have to play with the ingredient a little bit and use all these other things to help with the function. We will be talking a little bit more about sugar replacement in our clean label class, okay? Because this issue is so hot right now. I'm getting a lot of questions on sugar replacement. So I do want to address that in an upcoming clean label cake seminar that we're going to be having later next year. All right, so let's see, 8 minutes. I'm still stuck on the first question. I'm sorry. I need help developing a shelf-stable baked brownie recipe. How can I do it? Okay, so shelf-stable cakes are pretty consistent across the board, whether you're doing brownies or angel food cake or whatever high ratio cake. They're pretty consistent. Increase the fat is really easy, and increase the sugar is really easy. Add emulsifiers and preservatives, whatever. So to get into details, you need to watch my episode on the Ask Dr. Lin YouTube channel. I believe it's episode 26 and 27. Okay. And that channel is youtube.com/c/askdrlin. Okay, that's how you get to those episodes 26 and 27. I go into in-depth telling you how to increase your shelf life for cakes. Okay, good luck. Next. All right. Hello, Dr. Lin. I noticed that commercially produced crackers have an airy and defined snap or crunch to them. I've also noticed non-commercial types have heavy texture and absence of crispy, airy nature of commercial crackers. Could it be the flour protein? I've mirrored exact measurements with similar ingredients, including the leavening data, but with limited success. I look forward to your expert reply. A lot of texture attributes from crackers actually come from the processing step that you don't have in any kind of benchtop or home experiments. Okay, so the sheeting effect of crackers are really, really stressful on the doughs. Therefore, you need a lot of processing aids to go through the sheeters. And basically, every cracker facility out there, industrial lines have about 3 to 4 sheeters roll reductions. Okay, so that aspect is what's going to give you that really crispy, defined snap crunch. Okay, if you're using leaveners, that also gives you a really good crunch. And also the right kinds of proteins in the flour will give you a good crunch. But if you mimic all those already, I said your biggest issue would be your extruding or your sheeting step that you're missing. So good luck. Okay, next question. This baker is amazingly courteous and polite. I wish everybody was like you on. Okay, so hi, Dr. Lin. Good day to you. I would like to ask if all-purpose flour is important in baked products. Can I replace all-purpose flour with bread flour or cake flour and adjust the formulation by getting the desired texture? For example, can I replace all-purpose flour with bread flour in a bun formulation? Okay, thank you. Best regards, An. You're welcome, An. Again, thank you for being so polite in your question. I always appreciate people being polite and courteous. After all, you're getting your questions answered for free. Why shouldn't you be polite? And to answer your question, yes, you can. You can replace all-purpose flour with bread flour and cake flour. So if you go to our all-purpose flour page, you will see the necessary protein content in all-purpose flour, and you mix and match that with a blend of bread and cake flour. Though I don't know why you're doing this, because if you were to blend it with bread and cake flour, you're just reducing the protein concentration and quality. And that's actually more expensive for you by just, buying maybe like a pastry flour or, just plain bread flour would do. I wouldn't mix it. Go to our hamburger buns page, okay? And on that page, it will go into the processing of hamburger buns. And depends on your kind of process. If you're a wholesale baker, you probably would need a little higher protein. If you are a commercial baker, you might need a higher protein than a wholesale baker, because a commercial baker does provide a lot of stresses to the dough, and you just need the flour to really, really handle that stress. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. You can definitely replace all-purpose flour with just plain bread flour. Okay, try that. And if it doesn't give you that airy, bubbly, soft, uniform texture, it has a lot to do with your process. It has to do with a lot of your emulsifiers that you're using. It's not a flour issue, it's a systems issue. So good luck. All right. Do you want to learn a little bit more about bread and bread baking, particularly sourdough? I'm going to be giving away today, I'm giving away 5 seats at 50% off for the next 5 people who sign up for our sourdough class. So hurry. Use Paratos 50, capital Puratos 50 when checking out. All right. And you will get 50% off. Okay, bakers, go bake for the most busiest week of the year. You got to get those buns and rolls out the door. I will see you again next week. Hopefully you will remain in one piece this weekend and don't fall apart on me. Okay. I will see you back here on Tuesday at 10 at 10. Ask all the questions you want, and don't forget, leave comments on our pages, and that's the best way I will get back to you. Bye.